Check out this massive motorbike shop in the Netherlands. It's located close to Gouda, like the cheese, and it is absolutely massive. So this was a sort of like open day weekend, and hence why it's so busy with people. And just did a bit of a walk around, and I'll chat you through what's going on. So the store has a very large selection of used bikes downstairs, and upstairs it's all new bikes. You can also have your bikes serviced in store, as well as there is a huge online department. I think they must have a warehouse somewhere off site. There's a huge online department where you can order any number of clothing, spare parts, exhaust pipes, tyres, you name it, they have it. So this is a good look around the second-hand area, the downstairs area. And on the second-hand front, they have pretty much every single brand you can think of. They even have Harleys and BMWs and the like, all in there, every kind of bike that you can think of. There is a small area of sort of accessories in store. As you can see, some sort of usables and bags and the like. There's a little tiny coffee area where you can help yourself to coffees and teas. Now we're venturing upstairs now. So let's have a little walk around upstairs, and starting off in the Honda section, and they've got I think 12 brands. I did ask and they said 12, but to me it looks like there's even more than 12. So yeah, Hondas. And to be fair, there's usually almost all of the bikes in the range in all the brands in the store. And obviously stock is variable, so if bikes are sold, then you won't see them, and they'll be getting a new shipment in fairly quickly. It's a very busy store with a massive turnaround, and I think everybody is catered for. You've got every kind of bike that you can really conceive available to you. The Ducati brand is obviously a premium brand, and typically if you go to many stores you don't see that many Ducatis in the shops, so it's nice to see a really good selection of bikes. And there's Ducati clothing as well, branded stuff, which I have to say is pretty good. Multistradas there, the V4 Diavel. And then you've got some sort of fancy homologated one-of-a-kinder on display. I'm not sure if that one's just for show or you can buy it. I think you can probably buy it. There is a couple of motorbikes downstairs. They're 75,000 euros each if you want one of them. So only if you've got a big wallet. The CF Moto brand, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, I think that they are going to be an up-and-coming brand to watch. I know they're Chinese, but yeah, I mean, you know, they're based on a KTM. I think they've got some nice bikes in there. So there's a wicked little supermoto there, not for road use. And they've got quite a number of KTMs in stock, most of the range, plus clothing. And I'm a bit of a fan of this new Duke 990 there, the orange one. I really like those. I can highly recommend you having a test ride on one. So over to the Huskies. There's a few Husqvarnas in store, not many. But then Husqvarna aren't really, you know, haven't really got a massive range, so not much for you to see. And on to the Yamahas now. And I would suggest that along with Honda, Yamahas have got to be some of the most boring bikes to look at on the best part of it. With the exception of the bike at the front, it's really just black. I do like these MT10s and MT09s with the green wheels, they look cool. And an R1, you don't see many big sports bikes about anymore. Pretty extensive Kawasaki range in store, including the clothing there. And this is a bit of a new layout for their Kawasaki corner, which I think is displaying their bikes a bit better than it used to. And quite a number of Kawasaki's actually. I'm assuming they're quite a popular brand. But it's not really a bike I've ever bought. I've never bought a Kawasaki. And the Suzuki department has also been taken up in part by, this was a sort of the demo weekend, and there is a big stand in there where they're sorting out your Senna intercoms. So some of the Suzuki bikes weren't there, there's normally more. So in store upstairs, there's a pretty large and quite extensive clothing department. A number of really good brands. They don't really sell anything that isn't good, I would say. Yeah, all the likely heroes, Alpine Stars and Rucker and that kind of stuff. There's also coming up to there's a large area there with helmets. They've got a number of brands for helmets as well. I think pretty much all the decent brands are there. They're all accounted for. And along with helmets, I think they also do custom fit on a number of the different brands. So it is definitely worth asking, but I'm pretty sure they do custom fits. Lots of shoes and boots for him and her. They've also got protectors as well. There's a little thing on the wall there. You can see all the back protectors just off shot. Over to the Moto Guzzi's, which I'm not sure if they're selling that well. But yeah, it's an interesting brand, I think, Moto Guzzi. I've had a Moto Guzzi before. I loved it. V11 Sport. Not around anymore. So there's a few Moto Guzzi's in there, and then going over in this little section, Italian section, you've got Aprilia, and you've got some scooters from Vespa and Piaggio. I suspect also if there's a bike that's not in store, you can order it from them through the shop. And now to the Triumph department, and actually this is quite a big selection of Triumphs in my opinion. I quite like a Triumph one day. I think in fact that little 765, that's definitely on my list of something I'd like to ride. And of course you've got all these bigger upright bikes as well. And then the bikes that so everyone always stops and look at, the old Rocket 3. Be cool to have one of those one day for 31,000 euros though, quite a lot of money. Massive bike. So as you can see, it's a pretty big store. And all part of the same complex, there is another shop on the side that sells sort of slightly older clothing, an outlet store. And this is inside of it. Quite extensive again, quite big. On the day, part of the parking area is being used for entertainment, but you can park in excess of 1,000 bikes on site. This is the neighbours' land that they were just letting bikes park in for the event. But yeah, there's loads of parking on site. Now, thanks for watching. See you all soon.